Hello and welcome to this week's Women's Football Chat, your weekly show covering everything in the third and fourth tiers of women's football here in England. That's the FA Women's National League. My name is Chris Gadsby. I'm here every Thursday at 6 p.m. to bring you the very latest from across the third and fourth tiers. Got a busy schedule to talk about. We've had the weekend's fixtures, some great results in there, particularly for the new teams. We've got one game that's taking place tonight we'll have a brief look at, and then this Sunday is the determining round of the FAWNL Cup and Plate. So all the teams involved, plenty of fixtures to go through. We'll have a look at all of them, and we'll know come next week's show who's in the cup competition and who is in the plate. So without further ado, let's get straight down to the results in the Northern Premier Division. One result on Thursday, real back and forth game this was, but great victory in the end for Liverpool Feds, a 5-3 victory over Brighouse Town. Goals in that one, a hat-trick for Paige Cole, an 11-minute hat-trick for Paige Cole, 65th, 75th and 76th minute for Liverpool Feds, and that's what's really turned the game on its head here towards the end. Abby Pope opened the scoring for them in the 14th minute, Bethany Donoghue in the 54th minute, but yeah, really that hat-trick in 11 minutes for Liverpool Feds really turned that game on its head. For Brighouse Town, 2 goals for Drew Green and 1 for Melissa Woodhouse. Meant that they scored 3 goals but ended up on the losing side. Then we go through to the weekend. Burnley 3, Huddersfield Town 3. And what a game this was. Back and forth, back and forth. Again, like the Liverpool Feds game, was really keeping an eye on it over the course of Sunday afternoon. So early goals as well. Goal for Burnley in the 5th minute. That one came to Millie Grace Ravening in the 5th minute for Burnley. Huddersfield Town then equalised pretty much immediately. 8th minute, Katie Anderson getting her first of the game, and it was Huddersfield that went in 2-1 up at half time. Katie Anderson again in the 2nd minute of added time at the end of the first half. That put Huddersfield 2-1 up. Burnley from the penalty spot, Millie Grace Ravening again, 67th minute. Made it 2-2. Then shortly after that, 71st minute, it was 3-2 to Burnley, with Leah Jade Embley in the 71st minute putting them 3-2 in front. It looked as though they were going to take the 3 points, but Laura Elford in the 92nd minute equalised for Huddersfield Town and the points were shared. It's a great game there at Burnley. Derby County 6, Boldmere St Michael's 1. 2 goals for Jessica Canwell for Derby here, a hat-trick for Amy Sims, and 1 for Amelia Wilson. Gave 6 goals for Derby. They were 2-1 up at half-time. Boldmere's only goal of the game coming to Lois Jeffries in the 43rd minute. Nottingham Forest 2, Liverpool Feds 0. Forest still yet to concede a goal this season. May Moncaster in the 13th minute. Charlotte Steggles from the penalty spot 3 minutes into added time at the end of the first half gave Forest a 2-0 victory over Liverpool Feds. Stoke City, narrow victory over Brighouse Town, 1-0. Meg Bowyer with the only goal of the game in that one. The West Bromwich Albion and Fylde, they play out a 0-0 draw. Wolverhampton Wanderers 4, Loughborough Lightning 0. Loughborough holding out for a while, but then Wolves eventually finding a way through. 2 to Katie Johnston, 1 to Amber Hughes and 1 to Destiny Toussignon with the goals for Wolverhampton Wanderers there. A 4-0 win on the full-time website. 5 goals have been put down, which is very helpful as well. FA Women's National League have been verified on Twitter as it stands at as verified as of this morning, which is great for the FA Women's National League. Another step in the right direction, and hopefully that will help to improve things even further. Northern Premier Division table then, it's looking relatively familiar with Wolves back on top as they have been for most of last season as well. 4 games played, 10 points. Burnley in second also on 10 points. Forest in third on 9 points, but they have a game in hand. Derby fourth, 7 points. West Brom fifth, also on 7. Stoke City sixth with 6 points. Liverpool Feds in 7th with 5 points. Huddersfield Town in 8th with 4 points. AFC Fylde in 9th with 2 points. Brighouse Town in 10th with 1. And Bournemouth St Michael's Loughborough Lightning in 11 and 12th with no points as of yet this season. Southern Premier Division then, let's have a look at this one. Billericay Town 2, Milton Keynes Dons 1. First win of the season for Billericay Town. Jessica Louise King and Zoe Russian getting the goals for Billericay, who had Logan Marie O'Shea sent off. Leonie Misselli getting goal for Milton Keynes Dons, but Billericay Town hold on to get a win this season. 2-1 victory for them. Crawley Wasps and Bridgewater United, a 1-1 draw. Aisha Swaby in the 28th minute for Crawley Wasps. Laura Holden getting the goal for Bridgewater United. Oxford United convincing 5-0 victory over Cheltenham Town. Leah Burridge 13th and 19th minute. Reva Cassidy 23rd minute. Carly Johns 36th minute. 4-0 by half time and the game was done. And then the 65th minute, Carly Johns got her second of the game to make it 5-0 to Oxford. Portsmouth 2, Gillingham 2. Goals here, 2-0 up. Portsmouth were in this one with just 15 minutes to go. Sophie Quirk, 25th minute, and Tierney Scott in the 71st minute put them in front. Madison Shamney-Farrand with 2 goals, one in the 76th and one in the 88th minute, meant that Gillingham came out of that game with a draw. And then in the 2:30 kickoff in that game, Plymouth 1, London Bees 2. Goal for Plymouth to Jessica Rose, Kayla Potter and Ria Vassi in the first half actually. For London Bees, they were 2-0 up at half time, put them in front. They had Jessica Burke sent off with 10 minutes to go. What that means for the table then, Oxford United top with maximum points from 4 games. They're 5 points clear of Portsmouth in second, but Portsmouth do have a game in hand. Portsmouth second on 7 points. London Bees third on 7 points. Watford in fourth on 6 points, but they're also on maximum points because they've only played 2 games. MK Dons 5th on 6 points. Cheltenham Town 6th on 6 points. Gillingham in 7th on 4. Bridgewater United in 8th on 4. Billericay Town with that win now going to 9th with 3 points. Ipswich Town 10th on 3 points. Crawley Wasps 11th on 2. And Plymouth Argyle bottom of the table yet to get off the mark. Division 1 North then we'll move into Tier 4. On Thursday, Hull City beat York City by 4 goals to 2. So goals for Hull City, a brace for Rachel Ackroyd, 32nd and 54th minute. Also a brace for Hope Knight, 27th and 65th minute. Put them, they were 2-1 up at half time. They finished with those 4 goals. York City, Felicity Jones in the 24th minute actually put York City in front. And then Jess Holder in the 49th minute gave them their second goal. But it was Hull who came away with the 3 points. Then we go through to the weekend. Barnsley 3, Durham Sestra 1. Barnsley continue their strong start to the season. Goals to Amy Lee Barringham-Beck, Evie Marshall, and Emily Pierpont for Barnsley. Durham Sestra got a consolation goal at the end. Lily Patrick in the 3rd minute of added time. Leeds United 2, Middlesbrough 0. Goals in this one. Laura Bartup in the 19th minute and Sarah Danby in the 55th minute for Leeds gave them a comfortable 2-0 victory. Great game in Newcastle as well. Another back and forth game here. Newcastle United 3, Hull City 4. Newcastle's goals, 2 to Casey Elson and 1 to Georgia Gibson. Hull City had 1 to Ellie Tanser and 2 to Emily Smith, plus a penalty to Katie Thompson. That really was a back and forth game, that one was. Hull City eventually taking it by 4 goals to 3 in front of 2,000 fans at the Newcastle Falcons Stadium. Newcastle really proving that they're starting to be a real powerhouse in the North East in terms of attendance. They were far and away the most attended side in the FAWNL this weekend. And going off, of course, that 20,000 that they had for a game last season, they're really starting to get a big following over there. And there should be great things to come for Newcastle, who, of course, went toe-to-toe with Liverpool Feds last season. Norton Stockton Ancients 2, Chorley 2, Sophie Hodgson 8th minute and Laura Hockaday 79th minute for Norton Stockton Ancients. Jessica Gillen and Sophie Rotherham getting the 2 goals for Chorley as they play out a 2-2 draw. 5-goal thriller at Stockport County. 2 goals to Jess Battle, 20th and 83rd minute for Stockport. Bradford City, Ariane Parnham and 2 for Charlotte Stewart gave them the 3-2 victory. And a great game for York City, a 4-0 win over Merseyrail. Alice Hughes in the 19th minute, Felicity Jones in the 45th and the 61st, Tegan Sorokin in the 60th minute, a 4-0 win for York City. What it means for the Division 1 North table is different on my screen and what I'm about to read out to you if you're listening to what's on the full-time website. Please, the FAWNL, we know you know what the right table is because you're putting the correct table out on your social media. Surely you have an override on full-time to be able to manually input the York City against Bradford City result, because that is still missing on full-time. But then on the graphics you put on Twitter, you've got the graphics correct with that result put in. Because if you look at the full-time website, it has York City currently in 8th place, having played 3 with 4 points. What they actually are is in 3rd place, having played 4 with 7 points. And Bradford City are in the same place, but just with a different goal difference. Please just override it, because it's been 2 weeks now and this table has been wrong on the full-time website. There must be an override function somewhere to be able to manually put this result in, because York City are 5 places higher up than the table, which has has just over 9 million hits on it now, shows. And there must be something that can be done about that. Anyway, on to the table. Barnsley, who are top with maximum points from their 4 games. Leeds United second, 9 points, so 3 points back. York City in third, 7 points. Newcastle United, Hull City, Norton Stockton Ancients and Middlesbrough 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, all on 6 points. But Newcastle United and Middlesbrough have got a game in hand. That's the game they're playing tonight. Durham Sestra are in 8th. On 5 points. Chorley are in 9th on 4. Bradford City are in 10th on 3. Stockport County have a lone point. They're in 11th. And Merseyrail are bottom with no points yet. Division 1 Midlands table then. Let's have a look at that one. On Thursday night, Solihull Moors beat Wem Town by 3 goals to 0. 2 goals for Rebecca Knight off the substitutes bench and 1 for Jenna Roberts gave them the 3-0 victory. And then a convincing win for Lincoln City, more like the Lincoln we were kind of expecting at the start of this season. An 8-3 victory over Leek Town. That's despite Leek Town taking the lead 2 minutes in. Jade Trina getting the early goal for Leek Town. Alana Tesgel in the 50th minute and Paris O'Connor got their other goals as well to make it 8-3. But Lincoln, with goals in the 12th minute and the 13th minute and the 14th minute, made it 3-1 very, very quickly. Those goals coming to Millie Fugler, Lauren Wilcock and Chantel Robinson. Then they took a little bit of a break. And then Jessica Razoo came up in the 30th minute and the 31st minute. Then Leah Harding came up in the 36th minute. So in the space of, 24 first half minutes, Lincoln had gone from 1-0 down to 6-1 up. Second half, they didn't show any signs of stopping, really. 47th minute, Chantel Robinson got her second. 73rd minute, Jessica Razoo got her hat-trick. That made it 8-2 at the time before Leek Town then got another one back. But 8-3, Lincoln City won that one. Long Eaton 1, Peterborough United 5. Monique Price getting the only goal of the game for Long Eaton United. Peterborough United, though, 8th minute Keir Perkins, 28th minute Niamh Connor, 55th and 62nd minute Megan Lawler, and 72nd minute Cassie Stewart getting the 5 goals for Peterborough. Battle of the promoted sides. It's Stourbridge that came out on top over Northampton Town. Niamh Deasy in the 24th and 47th minutes, the 2 goals for Stourbridge. Favour Omenazu, the only goal for Northampton on the 58th minute. Sheffield 1, Leafield Athletic 4. Moriah McIntosh getting the only goal of the game for Sheffield. Leafield Athletic getting a goal. Chloe Shirley in the 21st minute. Leonie Joyce 55th. Jessica Lowe 65th. And Bethany Cole 73rd minute. The 4 goals for Leafield Athletic. Solihull Moors round out a clean sheet week, winning by 2 goals to 0 over Doncaster Rovers Bells. Lindsay Ross Baker and Rebecca Knight with their goals. And Wem Town scoreless this week, losing 4-0 away to Sporting Cowser. Angel Craig Tipper in the 9th minute. Rebecca Gill-Parsons 47th and 55th minutes. And Rebecca Hall in the 72nd minute. The goals for Sporting Cowser. Well, that means for the Division 1 Midlands table, Solihull Moors, Stourbridge and Peterborough United, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, all with 9 points from 4 games. Leafield Athletic in 4th, 7 points from 4 games. Sporting Cowser and Doncaster Rovers Bells, 6 points each. They are in 5th and 6th, but that's just from 3 games. Sheffield and Leek Town also on 6 points in 7th and 8th, but they've played 4. Lincoln City, Wem Town, 9th and 10th with 3 points from their 4 games. Long Eaton United also on 3 points, but they're in the relegation zone after losing heavily on the opening day of the season. And Northampton Town, bottom of the table with just 1 point from the first 4 games. Division 1 South East, let's have a look at that. 2 games to talk through on the Thursday. They are of Ashford Town losing to AFC Wimbledon by 4 goals to 1. Ashford Town taking an early lead in this one, 5th minute. Ashley Cheatley getting what would prove to be their only goal of the game. Ashley Hinks with a hat-trick and Remy Gardner getting one as well for Wimbledon, though a 4-1 victory for them. And Hashtag United beating London Seaward by 4 goals to 1. Eva Frazzoni getting the only goal of the first half in the 7th minute. They then doubled their advantage. Emma Samways in the 53rd minute before London Seaward pulled one back through Zamina Malik in the 58th. Grace Gillard then made it a 2-goal game again at 3-1 for Hashtag in the 73rd minute. Before they rounded it off, Emma Samways getting her second of the game in added time at the end of the second half. Moving through into the Sunday fixtures then, we've got Cambridge City 1, Ashford Town 3. Great victory for Ashford Town here. Only goal of the game to Cambridge City came to Francis Steele. Ashford Town, though, their goals, Amy Dern, 29th minute, Lavanna Neufel in the 44th minute, and Kaylee Currivan in the 53rd minute gave them the 3-1 victory. Cambridge United 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Samantha Edgar getting the goal for Cambridge United, cancelled out by Emily Parsons, who came on as a substitute with just 20 minutes to go and scored for Queen's Park Rangers. Cheshire United 4, Wyndham Town 0. Millie Congerton opening the scoring early on for Cheshire in the 5th minute. Gemma Fraser in the 12th minute. Kiona Shantamarie Dill in the 18th minute. And Kate Bowers in the 65th minute rounded off what was a comfortable victory for Cheshire United in the end. Norwich City 2, London Seaward 2. Goals to Norwich, Alice Parker and Natasha Snelling. Suzanne Davis in the 26th minute for London Seaward, and Joanne Butler-Williams in the 93rd minute got a late equaliser for London Seaward. And a good week for Hashtag United, a 4-2 victory over Actonians. Hayley West, 36th minute, Brooke Meyer-Cairns, 45th minute, Kelly Wellfall in the 57th, and Keris Adams in the 74th minute with the goals for Hashtag United. Actonians scored early in the second half. Maria Ledsma-Vizo in the 46th minute pulled one back early after being 2-0 down at half-time. Natsumi Kano in the 61st minute as well got Actonian's second goal. but it is hashtag United that take the 3 points. What it means in the table is a bit similar to the last season, really. So hashtag United top, 10 points from their 4 games, closely followed by Norwich City, who also have 10 points, but a worse goal difference. They're in second. London Seawood are in third on 7 points. Cambridge United and Queen's Park Rangers 4th and 5th on 5 points. AFC Wimbledon and Ashford Town 6th and 7th on 4 points. Cheshire United and Cambridge City 8th and 9th on 3 points. Actonians on 1 point in 10th. Hounslow still yet to play a game this season. Their game was postponed this weekend again. So they're yet to get off the mark. They're in 11th. And Wyndham Town are bottom of the table with a minus 22 goal difference. Also yet to get off the mark. Division 1 South West results. Then there were no games in midweek. So we'll just run through these ones from the weekend. A convincing victory for AFC Bournemouth over Keynsham Town. An 8-0 victory for Bournemouth. 4 goals to Shannon Albury, 44th, 60th, 75th and 80th minute. It's a great second half for Shannon. The scoring was opened though by Helen Bleasard in the 42nd minute. So it took a while for the floodgates to open here. Jessica Trewick in the 45th. In the 46th minute, the first minute of added time, really, at the end of the first half. Abby Jones, 51st minute, and Helen Corbin in the 86th minute. An 8-0 victory for Bournemouth. Moneyfields, a great away victory to Larkhall Athletic, 5-0. And that's 4 goals to Jade Widows, 9th, 37th, 41st, and 45 plus 1. A 4-0 at half-time, all thanks to Jade Widows. And then Kimberly Whitcomb joined in the action in the 52nd minute. Moneyfield's great 5-0 victory for them. Portishead Town 4-0 over Maidenhead United. Maidenhead United getting their season started. Ellie Bell in the 24th and the 48th minute with a brace for Portishead. Ellie Stripple in the 27th minute. And Brooke Stirrup in the 80th minute. Those are the goals for Portishead, who I think with the match fitness in the league, games under their belt already, just had a bit too much for Maidenhead United on what was their first game of the season. Chelsea dominated AFC St Austell by 6 goals to 1, and they were 5-0 up at half time. Laura Da Silva opening the scoring in the 1st minute. Emma Blakely 22nd minute. Gemma Simmons 35th minute. Sky Bacon 39th minute. And should be one more goal in there somewhere as well, because the 6 goals have been put down, but if it says 5-0 at half time, they've got 2 goals down in the second half. Natasha Wild 63rd and 69th minute, so maybe it was only 4-0 at half time. Jasmine Allen coming off the substitutes bench with 10 minutes to go got AFC St Austell's only goal of the game. And then a late winner for Exeter City against Southampton Women. 3-2 they won in the end. Goals for Exeter City. Connie Pengelly in the 60th. Emily Toogood in the 64th minute. Goals for Southampton Women, though. Only one's been put on the system. That's the goal to Lucy Meir in the 80th minute. It was 2-2. Then Sarah Stacey, 90th minute, got the goal that sent Exeter City into the lead and gave them the 3 points. Right, table then for Division 1 South West. Bournemouth and Exeter tied at the top, both on 10 points from their 4 games. At Bournemouth top because of their goal difference. Chelsea in third on 9 points, but they've only played 3 games. Cardiff City also on maximum points. They're down in 4th because they've only played 2. Portishead Town in 5th, also on 6 points. Moneyfields in 6th on 5 points from 3 games. Southampton Women and Swindon Town 7th and 8th on 3 points, but from 2 games. Maidenhead United, no points. They're in 9th. They're having only played 1. Larkhall Athletic, no points, having played 4 in 10th. Keynsham Town on no points, having played 3 in 11th. And AFC St Austell, bottom of the table, no points from their 4. Obviously, goal difference, making the difference there early on. And that is all of the results from this week just gone. So we'll go through a bit of the news. And of course, we're now in September. The Manager of the Months have been awarded for the 3rd and the 4th tier. Manager of the month in the third tier, rather unsurprisingly, is it's Liam Gilbert of Oxford United. He had obviously the unbeaten start to the season with Oxford in the Southern Premier Division, 12 goal difference. Obviously in August, this is at the table now with one game being played in September, but played 3, won 3 in August, and Oxford top of the table. Then in Division 4, again rather unsurprisingly, it's Barnsley. Barnsley's manager Lewis Daniels, who with Barnsley of course also top of the table with an unbeaten start to the season from their 3 games in August. Then they're top of the Division 1 North, and Lewis Daniels gets the manager of the month for August. So congratulations to both of those. We'll see who gets it in September as the leagues start to take a bit more shape, and we've got the cup as well to talk about. Right, let's move through to fixtures we've got coming up in the next week. Fixtures coming up this week then, we've got in Division 1 North, this is being played tonight, Middlesbrough against Newcastle United. That's their game in hand over the rest of the league. There's also one game being played on Tuesday. That's Portsmouth against Watford. That's obviously after this weekend's cup fixtures. That's in the Southern Premier Division, Portsmouth taking on Watford. Let's have a look then at the determining round of the FA Women's National League Cup and Plate competitions. For anyone who's not been following the show a long time, who doesn't really know what this is the round which decides if you're going through into the plate competition or the cup competition. So it does mean that everybody gets a cup competition after this weekend's fixtures. Pretty good way of doing it, in my opinion. So the determining round then. So if you win this fixture, you go through into the cup. If you lose this fixture, you go through into the plate. And then it stays regionalised until pretty much the semi-finals. Then it goes nationalised. Forest won the plate last season, and Southampton won the cup. That was played at Solihull Moors last season. So this is the start of that journey, really. All the teams are involved. So, as I said, this is localised as well. So, AFC Bournemouth against Oxford United. Fylde against Derby County. AFC Austell against Plymouth Argyle. Boldmere St Michael's take on Stoke City. Bridgewater United against Billericay Town. Brighouse Town take on Leafield Athletic. Cambridge City against Actonians. And Cambridge United against Gillingham. Cardiff City against Southampton Women. Cheltenham Town take on AFC Wimbledon. Cheshire United against Wyndham Town. Chorley against Bradford City. Doncaster Rovers Bells against Merseyrail. Exeter City against Maidenhead United. Hashtag United against Ashford Town. Hounslow against Larkhall Athletic. Now, that game between Hounslow and Larkhall Athletic, of course, Hounslow haven't yet played this season. Because they don't have the registered players. Now, as it stands at the moment, at 9:30 on Thursday morning, the game is still on according to all the sources I can find. However, Hounslow still only have 5 registered players. Now, that's moving in the right direction because last week they only had 4. Now they've got 5 registered players, but that's still not enough. So unless that changes drastically, that game won't go ahead. Larkhall Athletic will be given the bye into the cup competition. Hounslow will go into the plate. So wait and see on that one. Of course, between me recording this and it coming out, it could all change again and could get new information. But as it stands right now at the moment at 9:30 Thursday morning, that's the current situation with Hounslow against Larkhall Athletic. Huddersfield Town take on Stourbridge. Hull City against Burnley. Keynsham Town against Moneyfields. Lincoln City get the trip up to Newcastle United get the trip down to Lincoln City. London Seawood against Swindon Town. Northampton Town against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Norton and Stockton Ancients against Long Eaton United. And Peterborough United take on Stockport County. Portishead Town face London Bees, Portsmouth against Crawley Wasps, Queen's Park Rangers against Ipswich Town, Chelsea against Milton Keynes Dons, Sheffield will take on Middlesbrough, Sporting Cowser against Durham Sestra, Watford against Norwich City, and Wem Town against Barnsley. And finally, West Bromwich Albion against Liverpool Feds. York City take on Leeds United. Then in the 3 o'clock kickoffs, it's Leek Town against Nottingham Forest and Loughborough Lightning against Solihull Moors. We'll go through all of those results and obviously that means who's in the Cup and the Plate competitions next week. We'll wait to see how long it takes the league to come out with the first round, or probably what they'll call the preliminary round of these competitions, because each side or each competition will end up with 36 teams in it, and they need 32 for the first round. So what they will do is they will hold this preliminary round where 8 teams will be drawn, and they will have to play in the preliminary round to eliminate 4 before then the rest of the teams all come in and we have a 32 team first round. So that's what's going to happen in the determining round, then the preliminary round of the Cup and Plate. Don't worry if you can't remember all that now. We'll cover all of it as it happens over the course of the next few weeks. But that will do it for this week's Women's Football Chat. Thank you very much for joining me. Of course, don't forget, keep supporting your local women's football team. Get down there if you can. Make sure you give them a follow on social media as well. I'll be back next Thursday at 6 p.m. with all the reaction to that Cup round, plus those 2 games in the league in Division 1 North and in the Southern Premier Division. If you want to get involved with the show, you can leave a comment down below if you're watching on YouTube, or get involved on Twitter. It's at Chris_Gadsby. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.